I just won my second ticket for the European Championship, and today I'll be showing you how I did that.
Boudini!
So, let's get into my list. This is my Etali copy pasta, your cards, my win. I will start off with my changes that I did about a day before the tournament, and some I did like about an hour before the tournament. I changed, I took out the Pinnacle Monk, and I put a Great Furnace in there. So the Furnace activates the Mox Opal, and you can put it into Mox Diamond, which is both good. I'm not playing a lot of lands, so everyone counts. I took out a Fury and a Lightning Bolt because I haven't seen the Drannith Magistrate in like ages, like half a year at least, and I don't see myself destroying other creatures. There are some situations, of course, where you want to destroy a creature, but I'm playing Turbo, and I wanna have every card be good in my hand, and every card that I'm flipping should be good. So bye Lightning Bolt and Fury. Also the Eternal Witness. So yeah, the Witness is getting the food chain back, but if my food chain gets countered, I'm probably screwed anyway. So I'm trying it out without the Eternal Witness. And last is the Force of Vigor. I took that one out. This was the one that I was thinking about most not to take out. So it helps me against two studies or whatever on the field. And there's one card which makes it look really, really bad compared to the other artifact / enchantment removals. And that's a Vexing Bauble. It does not counter or it does not remove a Vexing Bauble, and that's like the most common stacks piece that I've been seeing in the last weeks, and that I'm having trouble to deal with. So I took out the Force of Vigor, and yeah, maybe it's a mistake. I'll be playing it out, or I'll be seeing how it's gonna go. Yeah. Then I've got the Cloudstone Courier. I put that one back in. Didn't come up in the tournament. Still experimenting with it. Maybe it'll go back out. Also unsure about the One Ring, but it gives me a little bit of long run gameplay. So if I whiff on an Etali flip, the One Ring is great. If it goes 2 or 3 more turns, obviously. Evendo Brush Razor came up in the tournament. Would have been really, really good if it came back to my turn. He is better than I thought. I had like 4 pieces that I'd be sacrificing, or 3 at least. And the Evendo Brush Razor also makes you mana. It draws you the card, or it exiles the cards that you can play, and it's a really good comeback card, and it's also a good card if you can somehow play turn 1. Then it's just bonkers. Yeah. Yeah. Wandering Archaic, great card. I think it's gonna stay in my deck. Yeah, it's not turbo, but it just if it gets back to your turn, you're probably not getting stopped, except somebody has some sort of bounce or whatever. But yeah. All right. So let's go through the MVPs of the tournament, and I'd say one of the best cards I had was Dualcaster Mage. He won me 1 game, and I did another win attempt with him in the finals. And the Goblin just won me 2 games straight up, broken as ever. And of course, the treason is over. He won me a game and helped me in another game that I did not win to get very far ahead. So that's those two are the 2 or 3 cards of the MVPs. The other cards didn't really get up. Well, we of course came up, but yeah, the rest of the creatures didn't really have too much play. I had an Imperial Recruiter get into Treason is Over. Yeah, but that's it. Yeah. Sorceries. So there's not much to say about my sorceries. And Flare of Duplication actually won me a game where I sacrificed a creature. More to that later. And then there's not much else to talk about, I'd say. Yeah, I've seen some versions without the Ruby Medallion. I don't know. When it comes up, it's good. I probably prefer to cut something else like a Wild Growth before I cut the Ruby Medallion. Yeah, so that's my list. 26 or 25 lands and 1 MDFC. So let's get over to the games. Yeah. So game 1, I was seed 1. I had a Corvold next to me, then a Rocktrass, TNK. I mulled to 6. I started with a Sticker Goblin for 6 in my hand, a Mana Vault, a Infernal Plunge, a Strike It Rich, Pyretic Ritual, and a City of Brass. I drew a Forest, played the City and a Vault, and passed turn. On my turn 2, I drew into a Food Chain, played the Forest and the Goblin, and I was thinking about what to do for a while. Because there were like multiple options, like playing the Goblin and the Food Chain and then Etali, but if the Food Chain gets countered, I'm pretty screwed in the next turn. So I do a little safer play where I'm hoping to see if my opponents have counter spells, and if I'm really lucky, or not lucky, but if I get drawn to a color, like if I draw into green. With the Etali flip, I get to play the Food Chain. So I play the Goblin. I use the Infernal Plunge to eat the Goblin. I'm floating 3 red and hoping to make that green for the Food Chain. And it does not come up, but I got a flip, and this is the stack order. It's a Vexing Shusher, Liverly Dirge. I pay 3 for the Spree, of course. Nature State, which I destroyed Treasure with, and a Tassa's Oracle. And I'm also almost sure that there aren't any counter spells because the player before me, he slammed his whole hand in there, and I think he had like 1 hand card left for a Smothering Tithe. So I was sure that the other players didn't have counter spells, or at least the Rocktrass player and the TNK player himself did not have one, because I think he only had one hand card, and he was showing it around, and yeah. So, but yeah, I played it a little safe and was just testing if there was something. Yeah. So, well, then I'm like thinking, what am I getting with the Liverly Dirge? I still have the Vexing Shusher out, but the Goblin's in the graveyard, so I'm obviously getting that one back. So what can get me 1 green mana in my deck, so I can play the Food Chain? And there's only 1 card in my deck, and that is Wild Contour. Yeah. Wild Counter. I got Wild Counter, put it in the graveyard, returned it with the Goblin, had another 6 mana with the Goblin. I got the green mana for the Food Chain. It's uncounterable because I got the Vexing Shusher, and and then I just win the game on the next Etali flip because I got like 2 tutors off that and immediately get squee and win the game then. So my second game is Rockside, TNK, Rocktras, and then me on seat 4. I'm all down to 5. My starting has a Soul Ring, Mana Vault, Taiga, Chrome Mox, and a Desperate Ritual. Nothing much happens. Rocktras plays a fish very early. I get a turn 2 Etali flip, and I kind of whiff, except I get the fish out. I get my own Mystic Remora. After me, Roxy like all ends onto a Necro, gets stopped by TNK, and then it's off to Rocktras to like go for the win. I'd say he plays a temp with Discovery, and the Rockside player is kind of salty because he just got stopped, and he's like offering draws, and if there's no draw, he's gonna take the land, and well, yeah, he took the land, and Rocktras wins on that, so that was clear. I try to like make a deal that we can all be happy on, but there was no point of discussion there. So Rocktras just wins there, even though I drew like 38 cards off that fish in that turn, but I have nothing to stop him. Yeah. Game 3 is there's another Etali on seat 1, a TNK player, some jellyfish commander. I have no idea, and it's me on seat 4. I'm all down to 5. In my starting hand, there's a Brush Razor, City of Traders, Lotus Petal, Starting Town, and a Crystal Vein. The TNK player mulls down to 2 cards, saying he will counter the first Etali that comes up, and he's gonna try to force a draw, and he's like threatening us from the start, you know. And I've never seen this player, and it was like we weren't sure if he was bluffing, but yeah, if you're going down to 2 cards, it's probably your best strategy then. Turn 2 Etali, the other Etali player, he puts Etali on the stack, and he holds prior and does a Worldly Tutor and puts a Apex Devastator on top. And well, we all know if that Apex Predator is coming out, he's going to win that game. And so the TNK player says he's going to pack he's showing us the pact, and he says he's going to pack this. He wants a draw, and if anybody else disagrees to the draw, he's not going to play it and let Etali win. So yeah, and it's obvious that I'm just gonna slam my Etali next turn, and I'd probably get that Apex Devastator if the other Etali is not happening. So yeah, we agreed to the draw, and yeah, that was that game. So now I need at least 1 win to make it to the finals, maybe 1 win and 1 draw, or maybe even 2 wins. So game 4 is me on seat 1. Next to me is a Vivi, a Kinnan, and then Rocktras. I mull down to 6. I got the slowest start that I ever had in the tournament. It's a turn 3 Etali, but the cards were good, and I was hoping just to draw 1 more plus mana so I could get him out turn 2, but that did not really happen. So I get out my birds on turn 1. I do a turn 2 Glimpse, and I play one of the mana rocks in the Glimpse and get 2 of the Eldrazi spawns for the next turn. My opponents all tap out, and they all have like mana dorks and rocks, and that's it. I just slam my slow Etali turn 3, and I have like really good cards in my hand if Etali's coming out, and it's like a Noxious Revival, Metamorphosis, and a Molten Duplication. So this is gonna hurt. And so nobody counters him. I Metamorphosis Etali and get mana for the next cast on him. I cast the Molten Duplication after that one. On EDB, I Noxious it back up, so it's on the flip, and then I flip into I flip into a One Ring, and I cast a ring. I tap it while the Molten Duplication is still on the stack. I draw the card, and the card that I draw is a Flare of Duplication, and then I Flare and Duplication my Jaxus. I think I had Jaxus out, and then I copy another Molten Duplication, flipping into a Dualcaster Mage and instantly winning that. Yeah, so the Dualcaster Mage is on the stack, copying the Molten Duplication that's still on the stack, and just win right there. Game 5. I'm just from the start on. I'm saying, oh, guys, I'm fine with the draw. We can draw this, and then I'm pretty sure in the semifinals. So I'm seed 1. Luckily, again, next to me is a TNT player, then a TNK player, and then another TNK player. I keep my first 7 because they are Jeska's Will, Tinderwall, Mana Vault, Fetchland, Copperline Gorge, and Red Elemental Blast, and a Felware Stone. And yeah, if somebody is keeping 6 cards in hand, I got a turn 1 Etali coming up. So yeah, and everybody's like joking around and saying, turn 1 Etali coming up, and yeah, and I think even somebody said like, I'm gonna go down to 5 because of the Jeska's Will, and well, one player kept 6 cards and all the others went down to 5 or 4, and so what's happening? I'm gonna slam that Etali turn 1, and I don't really get any good cards except for Enlightened Tutor. I'm getting Food Chain on top of my deck, and I also got a Rite of Flame, which gave me mana for my Felware Stone. So I got that Felware Stone out, and yeah, the Food Chain on the top of my deck. I passed the turn, and TNT offers a draw or a restart of the match by showing us that he can pitch his Tassa's Oracle into a Chromox, and so he'd be able to cast Thrasios, but giving up his one of his win cons. And then he showed us the Fierce Guardianship that he could cast, countering my Food Chain. And I kind of agreed. I said, if everybody's fine with the draw, I'd probably take it. Well, the Team K player, the one in front of me, he was like, nope, no way, I'm not taking a draw. We can restart, but I'm not taking a draw. And I clearly said, I do not want to restart this match. I will take a draw, but not a restart. So the TNK player just says, nope, then let's play on. TNT says, okay, then I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to play like a land and this, and then pass turn. And then the other TNK player, he does something, passes turn, and then, so the TNK player that did not want to take the draw, he plays a fish. Bam, Mystic Remora. And luckily for me, he also had a mana confluence, so which means the Felware Stone can be a red color. And then I Red Elemental Blasted that fish. And then he was like, oh shit. He knew that what's coming. So I play the Food Chain, get like banana flips. I get like a Tudor directly, and then I get myself the Squee and instantly win the game. Yeah. So I made it directly into the top cut, so into the top two players of the tournament. So I didn't have to play the semifinals. It's the Rockside player that I had in round 2 was with me. He won every other game, I think. Yeah, he had 20 points. He had won 4 games and lost the one where we played together. So we had to wait like for a very long time because there was a timer of 150 minutes for the games, and we were like watching a little bit. And in this one game, I'm not kidding, there were 4 Rhystic Studies and 4 Mystic Remoras at the same time out, and this game took forever. So we were like sitting there for like 4 or 5 hours. Maybe not that long, but we were like sitting there for a very long time, waiting. And yeah, it was like when we started the finals, it was like midnight, and I was very exhausted for this last match. After the day after, I was like, oh fuck, I screwed this up, I did this wrong. And that happens, yeah. If you're playing like, I don't know, when we played like 14-15 hours of Magic. Yeah, so this is the finals, and Rockdrass is in front of me, then I'm second, then comes TNK and TNK. I keep my second 7 for a turn 2 Etali. I have an Ancient Tomb, some land, Imperial Recruiter, Mox Diamond, Metamorphosis, Molten Duplication, and I think a creature. Yeah. I didn't write down my games after this one, so because I left after the tournament was over. I went straight home. I had an hour drive after that, so it was like 2 in the morning when I got home, took a shower, and when I went to bed it was like 3. So Rockside starts with the fish, and that's it. I draw forest and play the recruiter, getting a treasonous ogre. Nothing else happens in that round. When it's back to me, I cast Italy, try to bounce the fish, which gets countered by Rockside. I also have a Tainted Pact on the stack, and like a Grim Monolith and a Mox Opal. The first card that flips from the Tainted Pact is a Dualcaster Mage, and I have enough mana with my Molten Duplication hand and the Treasonous Ogre to do the Dualcaster Mage Molten Duplication combo, and I just told myself, let's do it. I'm tired. Let's try it. Maybe I'll win right now. So I do it, and so the Team K players both pass prio, and then the Rockside player, he does a Force of Will or what to counter my Molten Duplication. I'm thinking like I can try to get another win. I don't know. I forgot what creature I had in my hand, but it would have helped me get my Eldritch Evolution out, I think. So I'm casting the Metamorphosis, sacrificing the Dualcaster Mage, and suddenly the Team K player shows me that he has a Swan Song, and he says I should pass the turn or he'll have to counter this. And then I make a deal with him that he never uses that bird against me. Thinking about doing the Eldritch Evolution next turn. I think I had a 3-mana creature there also. I'm not sure, yeah, but I knew that I had enough. With the Eldritch Evolution, I could have gotten Riona Fire Dancer. So I said, okay, let's do that. You use the bird against, or the Swan Song against Rockside. You never use it against me. And I'm fine with that. So I pass turn. He keeps the Swan Song. Rockside tries to go for the win, and the other Team K player silences him. which I think is also fine. So I'm not getting that silence in my face. So the Rocksai did not play his or pay for the Mystic Remora, but the second Team K player played a Mystic Remora, which I destroyed in my turn, hoping he wouldn't draw anything into that turn, and then I sacrificed. Now I sacrificed a 3-mana creature. Oh yeah, it's the Imperial Recruiter. Yeah, I sacrificed the Imperial Recruiter for the Eldritch Evolution and wanted to get a Riona, and then he says he's gonna counter this with his Swan Song, and I said, hey man, we have a deal, you're not using it. And he says, you're going for the win, I have to counter this. So I'm not very glad about that, but so we talked this through, and then he was allowing me to put out a Wandering Archaic, which I did. And honestly, in the last 2 turns, every time we were talking about the Swan Song, it was like always like actually this game would be a draw, and we wanted to restart the game like a couple of times, but the other Team K player, he said he's not doing a restart, he's tired, which is fine. I can understand that. It was late, and he just wanted to go to bed. Yeah, and so did I. Most of the players did, but I would have done a restart if that would have helped. Yeah. So yeah. Well, then I get a Wandering Archaic. I have like 4 life left. So Rocksai is going for the win. He's got a Demonic Council. He's tutoring a card, and then he plays a Yawgmoth's Will, plays another Demonic Council, and on the cast, TNK plays a Silence. I copied the Silence, and over that Silence, the Rocksai player casts a Final Fortune. He's also got a Valley Flood Caller, so his bird is like, I don't know, like 7/7 or 8/8. It doesn't matter. If he swings it at me, I'm gonna die. And so on the Final Fortune, and I copied the Yawgmoth's Will with my Wandering Archaic. I'm thinking, okay, I got the Dual Caster Mage in my graveyard. I still have mana up, so I'm casting the Dual Caster Mage, copying the Demonic Council on the stack. Getting a Pyroblast from my deck. Before that, I copied the other one and got a Food Chain to make sure that I would win when it's my turn. And so I was like really tired, and I was waiting for the stack to resolve, the Final Fortune to resolve, and my copied Silence to resolve, and then I wanted to, in response, kill his bird with the Pyroblast, but I guess I missed it somehow. I don't know if I said pass or whatever, but then the stack was suddenly, the Silence was gone from the stack, and I messed it up, and then I was silenced too. So he killed me. I was out of the game. The other players had enough stuff to stop him in his Final Fortune turn, and then immediately after that, the Team K player won because the second Team K player used all his interaction, and he won fair and square, well deserved, and yeah, that's the tournament. 66 players, yeah.